Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler review series reviews we do for a little while. I'll go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. I had to move my fucking car 3 times to get an appropriate spot to go over there and do this video. We'll get into it. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I just like to highlight the super cool shirts. I think it's neat. What super cool shirt am I wearing today, folks? Well, it's from a local band called Boom! Now It's Dark. You can kind of, it's like it's there. This is actually the picture from their album cover. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, they're a local band that I ran into at the time I'm doing this, maybe about a week ago, a little over a week ago, yeah. I was out to see a band called Killer's Confession, who I've gone over there and talked about numerous times. And they had a really great lineup of other bands. They had 2 local bands that were playing, and these folks were one of them. And I was digging it. I was digging their thing. I enjoyed it. I picked up a CD. I was going to pick up a shirt at one point, but I was like, I wanted to wait and see fund-wise, how things were going to go, 'cause, shirts and stuff get expensive. But at the end of the night, I ended up hanging out at their booth, and their drummer, who, he was a little bit stoned at that point. His set had been over for a while. And he went over there and he's like, "You want a shirt?" And I'm like, are you giving me a shirt? And he's like, "You want to buy a shirt?" And I was like, I'll buy a shirt. So, cool shirt. And I like the band. I actually got a couple of videos from their set. It's on this channel, just in case you're interested. Aside from doing food reviews and other nonsense, I do have just a whole bunch of concert videos. So, anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? Why did I have to move my car 3 times? Well, I wanted to try this one since I first heard it came out. Because, folks, it's from, boom, Wingstop. And specifically, this is their, boom, their maple sriracha chicken sandwich. Yeah, so, this is okay, I should preface this by saying, so it's a chicken sandwich, but it's just a sauce that they have available. Like, Wingstop goes over there, typically monthly, they have, like, a new sauce that they roll out for a limited time. It's there, month goes by, and then it's done. And you can get it on pretty much whatever you want, as far as their items are concerned. Chicken items, at least. So you can get it on their wings, you can get it on their boneless stuff. I decided to get it in chicken sandwich format, specifically because at the time I'm doing this, sadly the promotion will be over by the time I post this up. Well, maybe I'll post this one up either later today or tomorrow. But they actually had a buy one get one free on chicken sandwiches, and I was like, perfect opportunity. But I had to move my car 3 times because the time I'm doing this, it's like 4 p.m. in November, so the sun is coming down, but it's still super strong, over the horizon. And I tried finding multiple places to park my truck, and the sun was just everywhere. Finally, I just went over there and parked behind a big-ass store. But anyway, I'm going to eat a chicken sandwich. And because this is a chicken sandwich, this is going to end up in my Chicken Sandwich Wars playlist. Let's eat a chicken sandwich. Do I yammer on too much at the beginning of my videos? Maybe. But my subscriber count keeps going up little by little. Thank you, by the way. I appreciate all of you. So, Okay. I'm down with this. Yeah. This is a good sauce. I like it. It's mostly doing what it's supposed to do. Got a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of heat from the sriracha. You can taste the Sriracha flavor. You know, it's got something of a distinctness to it for sure. One thing I will say is this. So if you go over there and you go to order from their stuff online, it'll go over there and it'll give you the sauce, whatever, and then it'll give you like a heat level in like little flames. And it either goes to 4 or 5, I forget. This was a 3 on the heat scale, so it should be a little bit more than, than like middle of the road or just under 1, depending. And not a lot of heat. Now, there's a little heat, but it's not a lot of heat. Now, granted, yes, like I'm somebody who I like spicy stuff. My palate is going to be different from other people's. But like, it's not like I'm my like super crazy spicy guy. I definitely feel like there should be more kick to this. Because part of the greatness of Sriracha, I mean, it's a fantastic fucking sauce. But, part of it is that kick. It's not a super spicy sauce by any means. It's more flavor than spice, but, I still think you want that in this. And you don't get much of a heat. The chicken itself is decent. The outside is nice and crispy. I like the crispiness. There's a genuine crunch to it when you bite in. So they did a good job in that aspect. Here's the thing though. So if I'm comparing them to against one of their contemporaries, that being Buffalo Wild Wings, by the way, I've reviewed plenty of stuff from them as well. When it comes to the actual chicken itself, I personally feel like Buffalo Wild Wings definitely has better overall chicken. Like, I like both of them. I like both Wingstop. I like both, and Buffalo Wild Wings. But I have to admit, as time has gone by, like, I would say that it was probably pretty even for me for a while, maybe even favoring Wingstop a little bit, because I used to go, like, they have a lot of nice deals. If you, check their stuff online, they always do promos and shit. To be fair, Buffalo Wild Wings does too, but as time has gone by, I've definitely shifted more in the Buffalo Wild Wings direction. I do just think that they have a higher quality to their overall, but this is a good chicken sandwich. It's not gonna compare to like the really good chicken sandwiches, like the Popeyes, hell, even the KFC. When you're buying this, you're buying it for the sauce. That's the whole kitchen of this thing. The chicken itself still needs to be good, and it suffices. It does exactly what I need it to do, and they did cook it well. Like I said, I really like the crunchiness on the outside. With it hinging on the sauce, I wish it did a little bit more. It reminds me a little bit. There's what is it? Wendy's. They have like a maple. They have some sort of like a maple, like honey biscuit or some shit like that as part of their breakfast menu. Where the flavor kind of reminds me a little bit of that, but with sort of heat and stuff to it. And this is definitely way better than that. Like the fucking. I always really want to like that sandwich, but it has like a chemically taste to it. Like it's clearly not. Yeah. I like this, man. I'm down. I'm 100% down on this. I think this is a nice sauce. It's maybe not as exceptional as I would personally like. Like again, I think if it had a stronger kick of the Sriracha, I think that this would be like way up there for me as far as like Wingstop sauces are concerned. But overall, man, it's good. 2 questions have to be asked though. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm gonna go with yes and yes. Again, for me, it's not quite to the expectation level that I would personally want, but I do like it. Like, it's a good mix of, sweet and heat. It's got a really good flavor to it. And, I mean, doesn't have any weird aftertaste or anything like that. It's tasty and it works well on a chicken sandwich. It'll probably work great on wings and all that stuff, too. For me, yeah, I would get it again. I like it. For other folks, though, yeah, I would still recommend it. I think it's an interesting enough flavor where I can see some people maybe shying away from it, but I would really kind of, if you've ever had things like orange chicken or General Tso's, It's in a similar vein. I'm not saying it tastes, exactly like that, but it has sort of a similar flavor profile. It's not particularly spicy, so that could either go one way or another for you if you were expecting that kick. But I think even if you're like me, where you were hoping it was a little bit spicier, it's still a good tasting sauce, and like I said, I think it works really well on their chicken sandwich. So for me, I'm down with it. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. You go over there, have yourselves a truly chicken sandwich-tastic rest of your life. Because I don't reveal a lot of chicken sandwiches these days. For a while, that was a thing. During the chicken sandwich wars, the peak of that whole conflict, I was like, at least a couple of months, something like that. These days, it's much more smattering. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me, I know it. I live and I'm out there with you in it. We got to go over there and deal with the annoying-ass son being like, brr, I'm the son. I grant life and blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah. What have you done for me lately? That's how I look at it. But it's important when we deal with situations in our life that are stressful, frustrating, etc. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe you're going to try out a maple sriracha chicken sandwich from Wingstop, as I've done here today. And maybe the place that you're making it, maybe the sauce is a little bit more potent. It's got a little bit more oomph. And you're like, Brandon, I went over there and I tried it, in the comments section. By the way, always feel free to, I try to get to every comment. I am not 100% at it, but I do try. Like, sometimes I forget and stuff, but I try. I appreciate y'all. But you go over there and you hit it up and everything. And you're like, blah, 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 blah. It's way better, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Where'd you get your from? Oh, well, I live in Kalamazoo. Well, it doesn't help me. I don't live in Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo's in Michigan, right? I guess in theory I could go to Kalamazoo. I live in Illinois, so it's like it's not that far. I don't think I've ever been to Michigan. I don't think I've ever had a reason to go to Michigan. Nothing against Michigan. Just, why? But by that same token, I'm sure there's people in Michigan who are like, why would I ever go to Illinois? And I'd be like, well, deep dish pizza, Sears Tower, Navy, But then, that's me just shitting. Anyway, yeah, I probably won't travel to Kalamazoo to try a Wingstop chicken sandwich. But, hey, maybe I will one day. Maybe the food scene in Kalamazoo is fucking banging. Maybe I'll do a Kalamazoo special one day. Probably not, but bye.